Hey everybody, and welcome to Kids Life at Home. How are you doing? Hope you are doing well. I am Rick and I work for St. Philip's Chapel Street, and we have got Kids Life at Home. It's so good that you are with us. Wow, what a week. We're still at home. Help, help, help. How's it going, everybody? I hope it's going all right. Who knows when this is going to end, but I'm hoping that Kids Life can help bring a little bit of joy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to just kind of catch up a little bit, and then we're going to talk a little bit about bags of hope, which is what I have right here. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then we're also going to talk about last week's talk, and then we're going to look at breakfast. So something for you to be thinking about right now is what would you say is your best breakfast ever? Let's you guys have a think about it, because for me, well, I'm going to tell you in a little while. So this week, what have we done? Well, we've stayed indoors, right? We started doing a walk as a family, which is really quite nice, and just kind of trying to make sure that we still do a little bit of work. Easter Sunday was amazing, so much fun, and then we also did a whole bunch of stuff chilling on Monday. We watched Frozen 2 this week. We've done a whole bunch of different things, just trying to take away the boredom of being at home, right? How are you doing? Let us know. Comment on the side. That would be really, really great. Just to you to let us know how you're doing, and if there's anything else that we can be doing. I've noticed that a good mate of mine, Liz, has been doing some great TikToks. And boys and girls, ask your parents if they're friends with Liz on any social media. I'm sure she's sharing them wide. They are amazing. So that's kind of my week. Let's talk about the bags of hope. Now, this is one of the things that we do as a church. Bags of hope is something that you buy 10 items or more with a shopping list, and you put them in this. Obviously, with COVID, things are a little bit different, and we're still encouraging people to buy our bags, or to fill a bag, and then we can send it out to the people who need it most at this time. But what would be amazing is for you kids to get involved. And one of those ways is for you to draw a picture. All right, draw a picture of hope. I know we're seeing rainbows everywhere and all that. They're great. But, the people who are receiving these types of bags really need to just have a smile. And it'd be amazing for you as a child or young person to draw a picture. You can send it in to us. I'm going to put the link on here right now. 3, 2, 1. Because what you can do is you can put them straight. You can scan it, get your parents to scan it for us, and then send it straight to the hello@stphilips.org.uk website email address. Or you can send them, draw them and then put them in the post. Remember the post? That was an amazing system. Still works today, apparently. So I would encourage you to do either of both. And then what we can do is we can either print it off, or we can send your actual picture, put it into a bag, and then when someone receives one of these bags, they will also receive a picture from you. And you don't need to write on it. Just draw a picture of maybe blue sky and a beautiful house or whatever it might be, just to make someone smile. So there's a nice little challenge for you to do this week. Draw a picture which says hope in the best way possible, and then you can make somebody smile. Great. Bags of hope. Make sure that you do it. Now, last week I talked about Easter and being separated. Remember, I was talking about the curtain being torn in two. I ate way too many cream eggs and felt quite fat afterwards, but don't worry, I still ate my cream eggs on Easter Sunday as well. But that whole idea of being separated actually changes on Easter Sunday, because actually Jesus comes back to life and he is alive again, and things start to change. And so I want us just to kind of look at one of the stories of one of the resurrection things that Jesus does after he has been alive and he's walked around a bit. He still goes to see his disciples. And so I'm going to use one of my books that I use quite regularly. It's called See With Me Bible. I'm a visual learner. I need to see it to do it. And so this really does help. Right, so here we go. This is called Miracle Catch of Fish. Now, this is in John 21, okay? And the disciples have decided to go back to fishing. Now, we know that most of them were fishermen, and they're probably unsure as to what else to do, a little bit like us in this moment. What do I do with myself when I've done my schoolwork, when I've done whatever I need to do? What do I do? Well, these guys, they went back fishing. Sadly, we can't actually leave our houses, but we can still do some fun stuff. So they go out fishing. Now, the best time to go fishing is during the night, early morning. Okay. And they'd been out a long, long time and they'd caught nothing. All right. And then this dude appears on the shore and says, hey, guys, what you need to do is you need to throw your nets to the other side. And they're like, hey, why would I throw my net on the other side? I've been out all night and not one fish has come. But in the end, they decide, well, okay, it's worth a try. And they throw their nets over the side. And as they do, a whole ton of fish swim into their nets. Quite amazing, really, quite an incredible miracle. And then they have to haul this huge catch of fish. Here they are. Look at these fish. Aren't they cool? Look at them. Amazing fish. And they catch these huge fish and they put them into the boat. And then they have to get to the shore. Well, one of them at one point just says, it must be the Lord. And at that point, one of my favorite characters, Peter, takes off his coat and he dives into the water and off he goes. He swims to shore, trying to drag the boat with him, but he leaves the boat behind. He gets onto the shore and he's like, wow, Jesus, it is you. This is amazing. Eventually, the rest of the disciples who were in the boat get to shore and they haul this huge amount of fish onto the side. In fact, the Bible tells us that there was 153. I'm not sure why they counted it. Maybe they were bored for a minute. Maybe they'd gone, oh, well, maybe Jesus could sort it out. The most amazing thing as well about this miracle is Jesus was on the shore and he'd already set up breakfast. He'd already set up breakfast with fish already there on the shore when Peter gets there. But in the end, they have an incredible breakfast. And yes, he did do incredible miracles, as this says. But I was thinking about this story this week and thinking, like, Peter is the guy when they're at the long table and they're having the Last Supper, and he says, I'm not going to deny you. I'm with you to the end, Jesus. Not a problem. He then denies him 3 times before Jesus dies. And he feels awful for it. And then he is like, oh, no, what do I do? And then he has this incredible opportunity to be with Jesus. And Peter must have felt pretty separated. Remember last week we were talking about that, being separated from God. And then actually, as he was at this moment, he is brought back to Jesus, doing the thing that he thought was the plan. He thought, well, it's done now. I'll go fishing. That wasn't the ultimate plan that God had for him. And then he goes off and he does incredible things, does Peter, through the book of Acts. Incredible stuff. But it's in this conversation with Jesus that Jesus asks him 3 questions. And they're the same question, which is really confusing. So they're eating breakfast and then he says to Peter, hey, Peter, do you love me? And Peter's like, oh, yeah, I do love you. Yeah. Is that right? Go feed my lambs. Oh, okay. And then after a few more minutes, you then get, hey, Peter, do you love me? And Peter's like, Lord, you've just asked me that, but yeah, of course I do. You know I do. And Jesus says, great. Go feed my sheep. And then the 3rd time around, and Jesus says, hey, Peter, do you love me? And Peter says, Lord, of course I do. You know I do. And Jesus says, go, feed my sheep, or feed my lambs, or whichever one it is, forgetting which number I'm up to. He says lambs twice and sheep once. And incredible that at this moment, what was a relationship that was really strong, Peter thought he had really, really messed up. And then they are separated. In this encounter with Jesus, Peter's faith is restored, and they come back together so that Peter can then go on and do the incredible things that he has done. Now, I asked you about breakfast. What is your favorite breakfast? And for us, birthdays, we will have pancakes. It's amazing. We cook up the pancakes. We sit down all together. We throw maple syrup over it. We'll put whatever we can find in our fridge or whatever, just to have with these pancakes a special moment. Jesus wants to share a special moment with his disciples over breakfast. Now, there's maybe one point to be said, that we should all eat our breakfast. The second point is, all right, that having breakfast, sitting and sharing with somebody, is actually a really special time. And then that's when Jesus starts to ask the harder questions of Peter, when he is spending time with him. So my question this week to you is, are you spending time with Jesus? It's a really hard question to ask at times, but I want to encourage you to do that, to spend time reading God's word. This is my pretty battered Bible. Read God's word. Get to know more of him. This is part of the challenge of this week in Kids and Youth Check-in as well, going live on Sunday at 10 a.m. But what I'd really love you to think about is, in this moment, Peter comes back to Jesus in this incredible conversation. Maybe you're feeling a little bit far away from Jesus, and Jesus says, no, I'm here. In this time of COVID and you're not sure what's going on, I'm here. Come and spend time with me. Come and eat breakfast with me. What are you going to do this week? Will you do it? Let me just pray, and then I'm going to let you know what we're going to do next week, and then we're going to go. So, God, I thank you so much that you love us, that you want to spend time with us, and I pray for each and every person watching this, that you will help them to know more about you, and to use this time as we're at home. Help us to read our Bibles. Help us to get to know you better, so that we can have those conversations and hear you say, do you love me? And for us to be able to say back to you, yes, we do. May we have more time with you, like Peter and the rest of the disciples having breakfast with you. In your name, amen. Epic. Right, so before I go, last thing is, next week we are starting a new series all about Moses. Shannon's been doing some great work on that. Shout out, Shannon. Great job, mate. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do a food challenge next week. Blindfolded food challenge. And we've got a whole bunch of other things that we want you to be part of as well. And hopefully we're going to have at least two of us on this screen. We'll wait and see for that. But it'd be great to have you back next week. Have an incredible journey staying at home, doing your exercise, doing whatever it is. Hopefully this weather will stay with us. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But have a great week, and we will see you next time. See you later, guys. Bye.